So we have data and data type. Data type means what? The data which you want to store. Okay, so which data you want to store, based on that a data type variable will be created. Is that clear? So the C data types are defined as the data storage format that a variable can store different kinds of data inside that. And the size of the variable or a constant or array determined by which data type you are creating. Is that clear? So there are general fundamental data types are what? Character data type, integer data type, and float data type. Is that clear? Of course, we have some derived data type like arrays, functions, pointers, and user defined data types like structures, unions, and enums. Is that clear? So actually there are three data types: system defined data type, derived data type, and user defined data type. But all the predefined data types are categorized into one, and the other data types are categorized into the secondary. So once again, the secondary will have derived and user defined, but the primary is are called as system defined data types, which will have character data, integer data, float data, double data, and void data. Is that clear, everybody? So these are the primary data types you will have. Okay, so you will have a character data, which will have char, signed char, and unsigned char. Okay, whereas integer data, in which you will have a short int, and long int, which are both types of signed and unsigned. Okay, and hope everybody know very clearly what is signed and unsigned. Signed means what? Which will support both positive and negative values, whereas unsigned means what? Only positive values. Whereas you will have a float data type which is having only one category, which is float double and long double. In here we don't have any signed and unsigned type, only one category will be available. And finally there is one data type which will store nothing. Even that nothing data type is also called as void. Is that clear? So that is about the primary data types, and these data types will be, we are discussing at least for 1 week. Is that clear, everybody? Okay, and these are the data type and the amount of memory allocated and what is the value range it is getting stored. Is that clear? So that we will illustrate it with the help of example yesterday, where the char is occupying 1 byte, int is occupying 4 bytes, short is occupying 2 bytes, long is occupying 4 bytes, double is occupying 8 bytes. Like that, we have done one program called as size of operator yesterday. Okay, so I will show you the program once again. Okay, right. Now, so if you discuss about the character data type, only char means what? 1 byte, where the number of bits will be 8. Okay, so you will have a signed character and as well as unsigned character. So the signed character will store from -128 to +127, whereas unsigned character will be storing from 0 to 255 values. Okay, now let us do some programs on character data type and integer data type and float data type separately. If you see here, every data type will have a keyword and what kind of data it will store and what are the range of values it will support. Okay, right. So we have integers, floats, and doubles. So as we told you, so let me open the programming environment, which is called as developer C++. Okay, so I am using Windows environment, that's why I'm using developer C++. Okay, so if at all you are using mobile, you have to use another app. Okay, if you are using a Linux, there is another app. If you are using Windows, there is another app. So whatever may be the app, there are only three things are conducted. What was that? Okay, write the program. That is the first step you are going to do. And the second step is compile the program. And the third step is execute the program. Is that clear? So these are the three steps you need to do for any ambience. Write the program, compile the program, and run the program. This is as a summary. If at all, if you go into detail, first write the program, the output will be what? Source code. The whatever, whenever you write the program, the source code is generated. That will be given to the next step, where the preprocessor will expand the source code. Okay, who will expand the source code? Preprocessor. So that will be expanded source code. Okay, so once again you will get a source code only, but where the source code will be expanded with the help of header files are added. Now that will be given to the compiler, where the third step is as it is. After the compilation, you will get a compiled code. Okay, then after the fourth step, there will be coming called as linker. Then loader will come into the picture, where these both are doing the activity of linking and loading the object file and the machine code, and finally they are going to execute the program. If you are confused about all this, there will be only one simple thing: write, compile, and run. If you understand these three, that is okay. If you understand this, if you want to learn in detail, there are 6 steps. Write, first step; expand, which is done by the preprocessor; compile, link, load, and execute. Are we clear, everybody? Now let me show you the program which we have done yesterday. I think yesterday we have done some program, right? I think we have which program we have done yesterday? I think, hope you remember. We have done a program called as size of .c, I think, right? So the size of .c program we have done yesterday. Now let me type it once again. No problem, I think. Okay, right, right. And always all the students are requested to sign in using your official email ID only. Okay, your personal email IDs, using your personal email IDs, online classes are not allowed. Okay, I think Sainikal is trying to join. Okay, right, no problem. Right, sure. Now let me tell you one more topic also. Okay, so in order to understand, so we started discussing about the introduction to C language, which we have done. Then we have discussed about input and output in the C language. Input and output in C language. Yes or no? Then we started discussing about the different data types. Okay, in which you have a primary data types as well as derived and user defined. Okay, so for the first week, we will discuss only primary data types. Okay, is that clear, everybody? So that is the most important concept, which is called as data types. And also simultaneously, we are also discussing different operators as well as control structures. Okay, so once if you are good at these three, you can do any C program. Okay, so what do you mean by data types? The data types are different kinds of data supported by the C language. Whereas what do you mean by operator? Operator is a symbol which will perform a particular task. Whereas what do you mean by control structure? Whenever you want to take a decision in the program, the control structures are used. Okay, so now let me see you the operators. Okay, so let me show you the operators slide where just a moment. Data types, operators, and variables. Right. So what do you mean by operator here? Operator is a symbol which will perform a particular task. Okay, now let me see you how many types of operators you have. Okay, so what do you mean by operator? Operator is a symbol which will perform a particular task. Now we have, as we told yesterday, we have 8 types of operators. Yes or no? We have 8 types of operators: assignment operator, arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, conditional operators, increment and decrement operators, special operators, and bitwise operators. So each operator is a symbol which will perform a particular task, and every program will have data types, operators, control structures together. Then only we will be having a program. Is that clear? So every program will consist of all the kinds of operators, all the kinds of data types, and all the kinds of control structures you have to understand. Then only you can do the programming. So we are discussing 3 concepts together here. We are discussing data types. Yesterday we have discussed. Now today we are going to discuss operators as well as control structures introduction, so that each and every program, one topic, we will take it and we will demonstrate with the help of program. I think you remember yesterday in the last program what we discussed is: write a program to check the size of the given data type, which we have done using a special operator called as size of. What do you mean by size of here? Size of is an operator which will return the number of bytes allocated for given data type. Yes or no? So size of carry we have given 1 byte. Size of int will give you 4 bytes. Size of double will give you 8 bytes. And size of long double will give you 12 bytes. Like that, we have printed the output yesterday, the last program. Hope you remember. Okay. So like that, each and every operator will perform a particular task. For example, assignment operator will do what? Assignment operator will assign a value. Okay. Example, A is equal to 10 means what? 10 is assigned to A, like that. Okay. C is equal to A plus B. A and B will be added and stored in C, like that. Okay. So whereas arithmetic operators are what? Arithmetic operators are used to perform all the arithmetic operations like plus, minus, star, slash, modulus. And you know the difference between slash and modulus, right? Slash will give you the quotient, whereas modulus will give you the remainder, right? Whereas relational operators are used for comparison. Okay, where the comparison of relational operators are used where whenever you want to take a decision. So all the relational operators are very important in the next topics which are discussed in control structures. Okay, so when relational operators are used, whenever you want to compare a value and you want to take a decision. Example, you want to calculate your percentage greater than 75, distinction, greater than 60, first class, greater than 50, second class, like that. Is that clear? Now we have logical operators which are used to combine the conditions, and conditional operators which are used for simple condition checking. Increment and decrement operators are used to increment the value by 1 and decrement the value by 1. And we have a special operators which is comma, size of, and dot. And we have some bitwise operators. So summary of the story is each operator will perform a particular task. Okay. So every C program will have different kinds of data and different kinds of operation and different kinds of decisions which are taken care. Is that clear? So what do you mean by the control flow? Example, we will write some programs where all the statements are executed sequentially, one after another. Is that clear? Generally. But if at all you want to take a decision, what you have to do? You have to check the condition, then you can take the decision. If you are not checking the conditions, what will happen? By default, all the statements will be executed in the sequence. Statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, up to statement n. Is that clear, everybody? So generally, the execution is two types: sequential execution and decision control execution. In the sequential execution, what will happen? If you write 100 statements will be executed one after another, something like an audio cassette. All the songs will be played one after another. Whereas, if you want to take a decision, then control structures will come into the picture. So what do you mean by control structures? There are some set of control structures like if control structure, if else, nested if, switch, looping statements, which are while, for, and do while. Okay. And also we have further. Okay. Now let me see you the each and every control structure syntax and one programming example. And also we will show you the some programs we will type in front of you and we will execute, and some programs which are already typed in order to save your time. Is that clear, everybody? So please utilize this service, and also please ask your doubts so that we can clarify. Is that clear, everybody? Right. Now let me see you. So what do you mean by if statement here? If statement is used, if the condition is true, you want to execute the statements. If the condition is false, the statements will not be executed. Is that clear, everybody? So when you will use if, whenever you want to decide whether you want to execute or you don't want to execute. If you don't want to execute, the condition will become false, means statement will not be executed. So if the condition is true, the block will be executed. If the condition is false, the statements will not be executed. So how this condition is framed? Using relational operators. So that's why in the program, all three are very important. Data types are important, operators are important, and as well as control structures are important. Simultaneously, we have given all the three concepts introduction, and we will do at least 10 programs in order to illustrate all these three. Okay. So have you understood what do you mean by if condition? Can anybody can tell some examples of when you will check the condition? Okay, let me see one example. I want to check greatest of two numbers. How will you check? A greater than B, A is big. A less than B, A is small. B greater than A, B is big. B less than A, B is small. That is two examples. Greatest of two numbers or smallest of two numbers. Here we have one more example. I want to check whether you are eligible to vote or not. How will you check? You will accept the age, okay? And if the age is greater than 18, you are eligible to vote. If the condition is true, eligible to vote is printed. If the condition is false, that printf will not be printed. That's it. Is that clear, everybody? So here, don't try to understand the a voting concept here. Try to understand how you are interpreting in C program. Okay. So this program is to check whether you are eligible to vote or not. So accept the age and check if it is greater than 18, eligible to vote. Otherwise, not eligible to vote. So if you observe this, yes, please.
Sir, is there any restriction on usage of the type of operator in those brackets, sir? We use relation operators only, sir, but arithmetic operators, are those also allowed?
No. Arithmetic operators will result some values, whereas relational operators only must be used. Very good question here. Why we are using relational operators, I will give you with good example. I will type one program and I will show you. But if, for example, I want to check whether you are eligible to vote or not. How will I check? I have to compare with age greater than 18. What will happen if when you, example, you have entered your age as, if you are SEM 3, you will be 18 years of age, and if you are SEM 5, you are 19 years of age. Hope so. So I will check the condition. 18 greater than 18, condition true or false? False. Because 18 greater than 18, false. Whereas 19 greater than 18, the condition is true. Is that clear? So what will happen when you use relational operators is the comparison, if it is true, 1 will be substituted. If the comparison is false, 0 is substituted. Is that clear? So if your age is 19 there, 1 is substituted. If the age is 18 there, 18 greater than 18, 0 will be substituted. So what it means, relational operators will result only two values, either true or false. So either the comparison is true or false, head or tail, that's it. That's why we use relational operators in the control structures. Is that clear, everybody? Whereas these arithmetic operators are used for what? They are used for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, which are performed inside the block. Whether you want to do it or not, that is decided based on the condition. Is that clear, everybody? So each and every operator will have some meaning. Here, conditions are framed using relational operators because they will result true or false. Because we want only two results. Do it or don't do it. That's it. Is that clear? Whereas arithmetic operators will have different meaning. Assignment operator will have different meaning. In this control structures, relational operators are used. Are you clear, everybody? Mister, are you clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Thank
you. Yeah, very good. Now, I will show you some examples. Don't worry. Okay. So if you see I will first let me show you all the control structures PPT first. Then I will do at least 10 programs today on control structures, operators, and as well as data types. Whichever program you want to do, that will only I'll do, because there are some N programs available in the Google. Programs are not important. While doing programs, how you want to do, I will type in front of you and I will execute. For example, this is a ready-made program. If I show you, it is not easy to understand the program if you see the ready-made program. If you see me typing the program and you understand, that is best way. But let me show you first glance of all the control structures once. Then I will start typing each and every. So whichever operator you will ask me to demonstrate, I will demonstrate. Whichever control structure you ask me to demonstrate, I will demonstrate. Is that clear? Right. So here, when if condition is used, whenever the condition is true, you want to execute. Otherwise, don't want to execute. Now, if you have an if else statement here, what is done in if else? If the condition is true, you want to do one job. If the condition is false, you will do another job. Is that clear? If the condition is true, you will do if block. If the condition is false, you will execute else block. So in the previous case, what is happening? Only if condition is used, whether do it or don't do it. Whereas in if else, what will happen? If the condition is true, one set of block is executed. If the condition is false, another set of operator. Is that clear, everybody? Now let me see you an example here. Now if A greater than B, A is big. If A greater than B is false, means B is big. Straightforward. And a head or tail. So whenever you want to take a decision between either this statement or this statement, when you have a choice between two statements, based on the condition you want to execute one of the statement in between, then you will use if else block. Okay, so if the condition is true, A is big. If the condition is false, B is big. You can also check whether a given number is even number or odd number. If it is divisible by 2, even number. If it is not divisible by 2, odd number. If it is greater than 18, eligible to vote. Less than 18, not eligible to vote. Greater than 0, positive number. Less than 0, negative number. So whenever you have two options, go for if else. When you have only one option, if statement. When you have two options, if else statement. Is that clear? Now we will demonstrate at least 2 or 3 programs on if else when we are typing the program. Okay, and then you will have a nested if. When you have one condition, if statement. When you have two possibilities, if else. When more than two possibilities, then there is a nested if. Okay, keeping one if condition inside another if condition is called as nested if. Is that clear? Keeping one if condition inside another if condition is called as nested if. Is that clear? So we either we can nest if inside if or else if inside else. Both can be done. Okay, so whenever you want to execute a job by checking multiple conditions, then you will use nested if. Is that clear? So there are some different examples here: greatest of three numbers, smallest of three numbers, oval or not, calculator program, or some different examples. Whenever you want to check multiple conditions in order to perform the job, you will go for nested if. Okay, so let me see one example, programming example, which we have already typed. Let's accept three numbers. Okay, and you want to check which is big number. What will you do? First, you will check here. In this programming example, I want to tell you smallest of three numbers. If A less than B, then I will compare the same thing with less than C. If both the conditions are true, then A is small. Okay, if the outer condition is false, I will straight away go to the outer else. If the outer condition is true, then I will go inside the if block. Then I will check one more condition. In between, I will decide one of them. So here, more than one condition is checked in order to decide one job. That is called as nested if. That means what? You are nesting if else inside another if. Then it is called as nested if. Is that clear? So here we are trying to demonstrate greatest of three numbers. Okay, where if the condition is false, means what will happen? You will check the second else. Is that clear, everybody? Right. Now we have a switch statement here. What do you mean by switch statement here? Sometimes you want to give a list of options and where one of the option will be decided among all. At that situation, we will use switch statement. Okay, so example, all the customer care calls, hope you remember, they will give you the list of options. Select one for Telugu, select two for Hindi, select three for English, like that. And you will enter one of the option. Based on that, the set of code will be executed. Example, I will ask you, enter 1 for January, enter 2 for February, enter 10 for October, enter 12 for December. So there are 12 options where one of the option is selected. So more than one option, if else. More than two options, nested if. When more than multiple options, then we will go for switch, where the list of options are listed and one of the option is selected. And this is a syntax of switch here, where switch will give you the expression and each expression will be compared with each and every case value, and one of the case value will be executed based on the condition. And let me show you the example here. Example, you want to enter a month number and I want to print the month name. Okay, and all the months are the different cases, and the choice is the month number which you are entering. If you enter 1, I will print the January. If you enter 2, I will print the February. If you enter 3, I will print the March. If you enter 4, I will print the April, like that. If you enter 8, August, and if you enter 12, I will print December. If you don't enter between 1 to 12 values, then I have to write one column called as default. What do you mean by default? Whenever there is an option which is not given in the list, then default case will be executed, which is invalid choice. Okay, hope you remember all the customer cares will follow the same technique. Whereas in ATMs also sometimes they will follow the same technique. If you enter the input other than listed, then default block will be executed. Is that clear? That is about switch syntax. Is that clear? So now we have listed if else, nested if, switch. Now we have one more concept called as looping. Now let me list out all the control structures, then let's start doing all the programs, don't worry. Okay, now what do you mean by looping here? Loop means what? Whenever you want to repeat a job again and again, you will go for loop. Okay, so every loop will have three properties: initialization, condition checking, increment and decrement. Initialization means what? Beginning point of the loop. Condition checking means what? Let's check whether it is true or false. And increment decrement means what? Go to the next step. So by doing all these three activities, we have three looping statements. Why looping statements are used? Whenever you want to repeat a job again and again, instead of writing the same job that many times, write once and execute n number of times. So for that purpose, there are three looping statements available: while loop, for loop, and do while loop. All these three loops will do the same job, executing a job again and again. Example, I want to say hello once, I will write printf hello. I want to hello 10 times, I will write printf hello 10 times. If I want to say hello for 1000 times, will you write printf 1000 times? Okay, copy paste 1000 times. If I want to print hello 1 crore times, what will you do? Will you write printf hello 1 crore times? No, you write that printf hello and keep it in the loop and run for 1 crore times. Is that clear? So what is an advantage here? Using a loop, whenever you want to repeat a job again and again, you will go for the loop. Is that clear? So whenever you want to repeat a job again and again, you will go for the looping statement. Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear? Right. So what is happening here in loop? We have while loop. Okay, as we said, every loop will have initialization, condition checking, and increment decrement. So in the while loop, what will happen? First initialization is done, and then while the condition is checked. If the condition is true, statements are executed and increment and decrement will be performed. Then immediately once again condition is checked. So this while loop will repeat again and again until the condition is false. So all the statements inside the while loop are executed how many times? Until the condition is true. So we have to plan the initialization, condition checking, and increment and decrement such that these statements are executed this many number of times. Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear? So what do you mean by while loop? This while loop will execute that many number of times. This while loop will execute that many number of times, like that. So we have to plan like that: initialization, while loop, condition checking, and increment and decrement. Is that clear, everybody? While loop, initialization, while, condition checking, and increment and decrement. Is that clear, everybody? Now let's have a program here where we will write a program of printing some of the n natural numbers. So first accept one number and then start adding all the one. For example, if you enter 10, I want to add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. If you enter 100, up to 100 I have to add. If you enter 1000, up to 1000. If you enter 1 lakh, up to 1 lakh. Same code is executed. Only difference is what? Where you want to start from 1. Where you want to end till n. What you want to do, you will write inside the while loop. And what is the next step? Plus 1. So if you know that, this while loop will run again and again. Is that clear? So this is only one thing here. Whenever you want to repeat a job again and again for n number of times, you will use while loop. Okay, so that is about while loop. Then you have one more loop called as for loop. Same thing what you have done in while loop, same thing is done here. Only difference is the initialization and condition checking, increment, decrement will be done in different places in while loop, whereas all are done in the same place in for loop. So in the for loop, first we will initialize and you will check the condition and you will do write increment, decrement in the place of for loop here. And you will write all the statements you want to repeat inside the for loop. What is the difference between while loop and for loop? In the while loop, all initialization, increment, decrement, and increment, decrement will be written in different places. Whereas in for loop, all you will conditions, initialization, and increment, decrement will be written at one place, and the statements are written at one place. So that it is the most favorite loop of most of the programmers. Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear? So that is about for loop. Are we clear? Now let's go for, yes, any doubt, people? Now let's see one example here. I want to check whether the number given is prime or not. Okay. So if example you have entered 11 and you want to check whether the number is prime or not. And everybody know that how to check a prime number. If the number is divisible by 1 and itself, it is a prime. Yes or no? If it is not divisible by other than 1 and itself, then it is that clear? That you have to check. So you have to start every number is divisible by 1 and itself. That is a universal secret. So from where you have to start checking? From 2 to n minus 1 you have to check. So that's why we are writing for I is equal to 2 and I less than num means what? Till number minus 1. And every number should be checked. That's why I'm writing I plus plus. And each number I want to check whether it is divisible by 2 or not, 3 or not, 4 or not, 5 or not, till n minus 1. If it is all the conditions are true means what? The given number is prime. If all the conditions, any one of the condition is false means what? It is not a prime. Is that clear? So that is about for loop. So both while and for both will do the same job. Only difference is the place of increment and decrement, initialization and condition checking will be different place. Now you have one more last loop which is called as do while loop. What do you mean by do while loop here? What do you mean by do while loop? This is also one of the looping statement where you want to repeat a job again and again. But the only difference is what? Only difference is what? Do while will execute minimum once even though the condition is true or false. Whereas an while and for loop, they will not execute even though the condition is false. But do while will execute minimum once. Is that clear, everybody? Example. So if you see all the restaurant nowadays or all the shopping complexes nowadays, there are different types of shopping complexes, food places. Some food places where you take the token, then you will eat. That is while loop and for loop. Whereas in do while loop, what? First eat, then pay the bill. That is do while loop. That means what? First activity is performed, then the condition is checked whether you want to continue or not. Whereas in while and for loop, what you will do? First check the condition, then activity is performed. Whereas in do while, what will happen? First do the activity, then the condition is checked. Okay. Remaining all are three. So if you see while loop, for loop, and do while loop, all are doing same job, repeating an activity again and again. But the only difference is what? The place of initialization, condition checking, and increment is different place. And one speciality of do while is what? Irrespective of the condition is true or false. If you want to do a job once compulsorily, then do while is used. Whereas in while and for, they will not do one time even though the first time condition is false. Whereas in do while, even though the condition is false, you will do minimum once. Then that is do while. Example, you forgot your wallet and you want to eat. Straight away go to the restaurant, eat first, then you say that you forgot the bill. Anyway, they will not do anything. Yes or no, people? Just best example. Whereas if you go to the KFC or McDonald and you say that I forgot the purse and give me some product, will they give? Definitely no, because they are using while loop and for loop there. First check the condition, then only eat. Whereas in do while, what will happen? First eat, then check the purse. Is that clear, everybody? So that is about do while loop. Are you clear, everybody? So all these three loops are doing the same job, repeating an activity again and again. So why are you using these control structures? In order to take the decision in the program, whether you want to execute or not. If you want to execute, which statement you want to execute. If you want to execute, how many conditions you want to check. If at all you are executing, how many times you want to execute. And one more thing is, from the list of things, which one you want to execute. These all decisions are taken with the help of control structures. Okay, now let's go to the program example. Now you tell me which programming example you want to do. We will do minimum 10 programs today. Is that clear? At least 10 programs we will learn today. So we have learned different kinds of data types. Yes or no? We learned different kinds of data types. We learned different kinds of operators, and we have learned different kinds of control structures. And we also learned different kinds of input output in C language. Yes or no? We have printf and scanf. Then you have different kinds of data types, and you have different kinds of operators. Then you have different kinds of controls. Now let's begin the program. People, Google will give you this many programs, but you type the program, then only you will understand. Don't try to copy the program from the internet, you will not get it. Now let us start from the user's choice. I will ask you, students, okay, people in the C programming lab, you have to do, program will be given, you have to write the program and you have to execute. Okay, let's practice the programs. Now you tell me, I will ask you the student's choice first. Okay, now I'll ask you one question. I think one of the student asked yesterday. I think in the last dot of yesterday, one of the student is asking, I will accept one character. If I print using percentile C, I'm getting character. If I'm printing using percentile D, I'm getting number. Why is that? Anybody can give the clarification? Let me do the demonstrate with the program. But can anybody can clarify? I have declared one character variable. Okay, so let me show you. Program to print a character. Okay, program to print a character. So what I'll do, first I will start with int main. Of course, what is the structure of the program? Hash include stdio.h. So in front of you, I'm typing the program. I'm not copying and pasting the program. So whatever the program you want to do, I'll do it. So first what I have to do, I have to create one character variable. For that, what do I need? I need what? I need, uh, I need char ch. What do you mean by char ch? Ch is a character variable. Okay. Now ch is a character variable. Now I'll ask printf. Printf. Enter a character. Enter a character. I will ask the user. Enter one character, please. Okay. Enter one character. So printf is what? Printf is an output statement. So in this program, the fifth line is what? Data type. Sixth line is what? IO statement. Okay, that is specially output statement. And in the seventh line, what I'll write? I will write input statement. I want to accept a character. Okay, so scanf, yeah, percentile D, percentile D or percentile C? Anybody?
Percentile C.
Very good. Percentile C. Very good. Very good. So percentile C, comma, ampersand CH. So what will be happening here? I'm accepting a character. So if you observe, every program is a combination of data types, IO, and some other operations also. Okay. Now this storing a value, you can do it directly by writing a program, giving the value in the program itself, or else you can accept the value from the user also. So I want to demonstrate scanf once. I want to demonstrate printf and scanf in the same program. Now first let me execute this program, what it is doing. It will create a character variable and it will ask you to enter a character, and it will, and let me display also the accepted value I want to display. Okay, entered character is equal to what you have entered. Let me print, comma ch. Is that clear? Now let me compile and run this program. Okay, so I want to say today's program char demo.c. Okay, and I want to execute this program. So once I will execute this program, what will happen? Now it is asking enter a character. Now some of you please tell me which character you want to enter. How many number of characters you have? Anybody?
255.
Very good, student. So there are 256 characters available, not 255. It is 256. Okay. How? Very simple. In the English, you have 26 alphabets. Similarly, in the C language, you have 256 characters. That's why character size is 1 byte. Why character size is 1 byte and how it is related to 256? After this program, one of you should tell me. Okay. Now let me, any one of you, please tell me any one of the character. I want to enter capital A. I want to enter capital A. Okay. And once I enter, what will happen? Entered character is A. That is printed. Okay. So have you understood this program? What I have done? I have declared a character variable. I am asking the user to enter a character, and the entered character I am storing in a variable called as ch. Okay. And how much memory is allocated for character variable? 1 byte, and that 1 byte where the character is getting stored and that is getting printed. Now one thing I want to tell you. Okay, so if I print using percentile C format, what I am printing? Character I am printing. If I print the same thing using percentile D, what will be printed?
Sir, it will be converted to the integers, sir.
Very good. What is that integer is called as? Very good, ma.
Percentile D.
ASCII value. Okay, very good. So ASCII value of the given character, and I want to print using percentile D. Okay, now let me execute this program. Now the same capital A I will enter, and let me check what is the ASCII value of character A, 65. Is that clear? So from the user point of view, it is capital A, but for the computer point of view, it is 65, and that 65 is converted into zeros and ones, and that is stored in the computer. And whenever you want, what will happen? Those zeros and ones are converted to 65, and that 65 is converted to A, and that is given to the user. So user will see A, but computer will see zeros and ones, which is 65. Okay, so every character will have equivalent ASCII value. Every character will have. Yes, please.
Sir, I just wanted to share one code. I mean, like, there is a way to check the equivalent ASCII values of every data, like 255 characters. We can use a for loop, and instead of printing percentile DI, we can use percentile CI. Then all the ASCII value equivalent numbers to the will be printed. So,
Yes, of course. You have a piece of code, ma. Very good. At the end of the class, please share. But only thing what I want to teach is here, every character will have equivalent ASCII value, and we can print all the characters ASCII values also. That program also we will do. Please share this program in the group so that we will share you at the end of the class. Please let me complete, because the students who don't know what is character and what is ASCII value, I hope definitely you are the student of CSC or IT. Yes or no?
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So here there are some students who are from civil, mechanical, automobile, and the people who are learning C language first time. So for them, what is a character? What is an ASCII value? First, let them print one character ASCII value. If at all you want to print all the characters ASCII values which are beginning from -128 to +127, that also you can do it. Is that clear? That thing can be done using what? Loop. One thing you want to do, you will write straight away. If all the 256 you want to do, instead of writing 256 times, I will write the loop. Okay, so definitely, Mr. You have to share this code at the end of the class. Please share it. I will give you the time. Whenever the program to print all the ASCII values using a looping statement, this code will be used. Is that clear, Mr.? Okay, so please don't mind, Mr. So please share this program at the end of the session. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Right. Now, have you understood, people? What is the difference between percentile C and percentile D? Percentile C is for character and percentile D is for integer, of course. But printf is a formatted IO where you are able to print the character in number format and the number in character format. That is a speciality of printf as well as format specifier. Is that clear? So this program is printing one character ASCII value. Can you generate a program any character? You can print the ASCII value of the given character using this program. Okay. So as per the student said, I want to print all the ASCII values of the characters. All the ASCII values I want to print. How to? So as per the one of the student told, write a program to print all the ASCII values of the characters. Yes or no? This is what you want to do. So how many ASCII values are there? How many characters are there? 256. Okay. So let me do this. So hash include stdio.h. And as per the requirement, we can do the program. So int main. Okay. Now what you want to do here? I want to begin from first place to last place, first character to last character. So for that purpose, I should know how many characters are there. There are 256 characters, of course. But if it is a signed character, it will begin from -128 to +127. If it is an unsigned character, it will begin from 0 to 255. So first you have to decide whether it is a signed character or unsigned character. So assume that it is a signed character, char ch. So if you don't give anything, this is a signed character. Okay. Now I want to print what? I will use a for loop. I will use a for loop. Okay. So what do you mean by for loop here? From beginning from first character to last character, I want to print all the ASCII values of each and every character. Is that clear? So what I will do is for that purpose, so I will use one more integer variable called as I. Okay. So I is equal to the beginning point is what? Minus 128. Okay. And minus 128 to plus 127. All these code you have to print. So minus 128 to plus 127 I want to print. So first let me print from 0 to 127. Then I will print minus 128 also. Okay, so I will begin from 0. Okay, and I less than or I greater than, I greater than or equal to 127, not greater than or less than. So by framing of the condition is also very important. Assume that it is less than or equal. Okay, so less than or equal to 127. Okay, and I plus plus. What do you mean by I plus plus? I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, then what I will do? I will print. I will print the ASCII character value. Okay, so what I will do is directly I will straight away percentile C. Okay, is equal to percentile. Okay, both I will print. Okay, so ch comma I, both I want to print. Is that clear, everybody? So each and every time what I will do, I will store ch is equal to I, and I will print all the ASCII values here. So let me print the output here. Let me print the output. What is the output I will get? Let me check here. Okay. So let me take a tab. Okay, and let me save this program. Okay, ASCII dot C. Compile and run. Now once you run this, if you observe here, you will get all the ASCII values. When it is 0, it is 1 smiley, all the smileys you got. Okay, all the each and every character is having some meaning. So if at all you want to get all, you got all. So have you observed here? So if you observe, starting observing, at the rate of means 64. Okay, capital A is beginning at 65. Okay, and it will end at capital Z will be what? Capital Z will be 90. Okay, once again the small a where it will start, uh, it will, I think it will start at 97, I think. Okay, so this program is doing what? One piece of code is running 128 times. Okay, so that you have to, ikkada problem is not ASCII value or not the character. For this problem, which constructor should be used? So if I use for loop, I'm able to generate this much output. Is that clear? That you have to understand. Okay, so that's why first decide the problem, which problem you want to write, then write a program. Okay, that's what the thing you have to practice here. So in this short time it is not easy to learn all the programs, but let us do the most basic programs. Okay, so let me tell you most basic programs as much I can. Okay, so first I have demonstrated what? Write a program to accept one character and print its ASCII value. Can you do it reverse? Why not? Accept a number and print its character. Both can be done. First do the minimal problem, then maximize the problem into accepting, printing all the characters and its ASCII values. Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear? So end of this course, each student please demonstrate with one program. There are almost 200 plus students. Automatically 200 programs will be completed. Yes or no, people? So programs are not the matter. How to write a program is the matter. Is that clear? Now let's demonstrate all the operators one by one with one program. Okay. So we told, one of the student told, why should we use arithmetic operators, or when to use arithmetic operators, or when to use assignment operators, when to use relational operators, how to decide. So let's do one program here. So program to demonstrate all operators, one by one operators we will demonstrate. So first I want to demonstrate first arithmetic operators or relational operators. It's your wish. Which operators you want to demonstrate, that operators I will demonstrate. So first let me demonstrate arithmetic operators. So what do you mean by arithmetic operator? Arithmetic operators means what? Plus, minus, star, slash, modulus. Okay, so what I will do is I want to add two numbers and I want to print. Okay, so first what I want in this program, I want two numbers and add and store it in the third number. So for that purpose, I need three variables, int a, comma b, comma c. Okay, so a is equal to 20. Okay, b is equal to 55. C is equal to A plus B. Okay, and printf printf uh, printf sum is equal to A plus sum is equal to, I want to print the answer. That answer is available in where? In C. Okay, now let's save this program arithmetic.c and compile. Okay, so what will be the answer sum here? 75. Why? Because you are taking a value 20 and b value 55 and you are adding in, storing in C, and you are printing. Now in this small program, lots and lots of things are happening. Let me demonstrate here. Of course, this program is a example for arithmetic operators. But in the fourth line, what you are doing? You are creating three integer variables called as a, comma b, comma c. Point number one. Point number two. A is initialized with 20. Which operator is used in the fifth line? Assignment operator. The value 20 is stored in A. So the fifth line is giving an example of assignment operator. Sixth line is also giving an example of assignment operator. What is mean by seventh line? Seventh line is also assignment operator, but right hand side some arithmetic operation is performed and one answer is calculated. That answer is stored in third variable. Is that clear? So every statement is cumulative of all the concepts. Is that clear? So, and you are printing using an IO statement. Is that clear? So if at all you want to demonstrate all the arithmetic operators in one program, you can do that. How you will do? I want to print all the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division at a time. At a time also you can do that. How will you do? Very simple. Let me show you. So let me show you once. First, I want to print a plus b. Okay. So instead of doing a plus b and storing it in a third variable, straight away also I can do it. Straight away also I'll do it. First, I will create two variables and I will store two values and I will print the answer straight away by calculating a plus b. That a plus b answer is printed here. Okay. So the same thing I will print a minus b, that is difference. Okay, where the a minus b is calculated, where that is called as what? Difference. That is subtraction. Then you can also print the product here. Instead of a plus b, I will perform a star b, where product of a and b values will be calculated. Okay, then I want to print the division, where quotient you want to print a by b, then quotient will be printed, where division operation is performed. Okay, no, I want to have a reminder. Okay, then what I will do? A mod b. Okay, so a mod b will be calculated and a mod b will be printed as reminder. Okay, and if I execute this program, this 20, if you execute this program, what will happen? If you see the program output here, you see here, first sum is printed 75, 20 plus 55 is 75, difference is minus 35. Okay, the product is 1100, the quotient is 0. Why? Because 20 by 55 is 0. Then the remainder, 20 modulus 55, the remainder is 20. So in this small program, you are able to demonstrate all the arithmetic operations. So what are all the arithmetic operations which are performed? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. Assume that you don't want to give the values here. You want to accept. Very simple. Printf, enter two numbers. Enter two numbers. You are asking. Okay, you are asking enter two numbers. I want to take a choice of the user. Okay, and scanf I will take. Okay, and percentile d comma ampersand a, that is first value I want to accept, ampersand b, which is second value I want to accept. So here what you have to understand is each and every line you are demonstrating something. Okay, of course this program is a demonstration of arithmetic operators, but this program will have other topics also. Okay, so in the fourth line you are creating two variables. In the fifth line it is an output statement. Sixth line and seventh line are the input statements, and eighth line to 13th line there are some arithmetic operations are performed using output statement. And I don't want to use a third variable. Okay, so if you see here, if I execute this program, it will ask you the two numbers, whatever the numbers you want to enter. For those two numbers it will perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. In the previous program, what is to happen? Whatever the values which are there in the program, for that operations are performed. Whereas if you enter now 10 and 20, what will happen? 10 and 20 addition, 10 and 20 subtraction, 10 and 20 division, multiplication, and product, all will be performed. Is that clear? So you have to decide what you want to do, write the code, that task is performed. Is that clear? So this program is a demonstration for what? Arithmetic operators. Now assume that you want to demonstrate relational operators. Okay, program to demonstrate relational operators. Okay, so tomorrow we will give you the list of programs which will be given in the exam, and each and every program and I will type and execute. Those programs you have to practice and you have to write in the exam and execute. Okay, so today we are only giving the introduction to today, yesterday, and day before yesterday. We have given the introduction to C language, introduction to data types, operators, and control structures. And I have given some random examples for some of the topics. But tomorrow I will list out all the programs which are there in the exam. Those programs you have to practice and you have to write the exam. Okay, so let me give you first relational operators demonstration. In the previous program you have demonstrated arithmetic operators. Now you want to demonstrate relational operators. So first what I'll write, hash include stdio.h. Okay, what we told, relational operators means what? Relational operators are used for comparison, which will result true or false. How to prove it? Very simple. Let's take the same program of arithmetic operators where I am taking two values. Yes or no? Two values I want to take, same thing I want to repeat till now. Till this place I want to do it same. But now there is a difference. Now there is a difference. Printf, I want to compare. I want to compare a greater than b. What will be result of a greater than b? Let's do it. A greater than b. What will be the result of a greater than b? Let's check it. Okay, like that I will do all the 6 operations. Okay, so first I will perform a greater than b, then a less than b, a greater than or, so let me do it line, a greater than or equal to, okay, a less than b, and a less than or equal to b. Okay, a double equal to b and a not equal to b. Okay, and all the operations I want to perform, and I want to check what will be the output there. Okay, a double equal to b and a not equal to. Whatever you give in double quotations, that will be printed as it is, whereas the expression will be printed with answer. Now let me save this program. The program name is relational.c. Now let me compile this program. Now please observe the output. Now I have entered same thing, 10 and 20. Now see here, 10 greater than 20, true or false? 10 greater than 20, true or false?
False.
Very good. What will be the answer printed? Let's check it. A greater than b, false, 0. A greater than or equal to b, false, 0. A less than b, true, 1. That means what? Relational operators will result 0 or 1. based on the values you provide. So in this program, I have given 10 and 20. If you give 10 and 20, 10 greater than 20, 0. 10 greater than or equal to 20, 0. 10 less than 20, true, 1. 10 less than or equal to 20, 1, true. 10 equal to 20, true or false? False. 10 and 20 both are not equal. False. 10 not equal to 20, true, 1. Ante means what? Relational operators will compare. The comparison will result either 0 or 1. 0 means false, 1 means true. That means what? With this example, I can convey that all the relational operators will result either only one answer, 0 or 1. Is that clear? So like this, for every construct in the C language, try to learn with the program. Because programs are used to learn C language here. Don't think that C language is a set of huge programs. No. With the help of programs, you are trying to learn C language.
Sir, sir, Apache ఉందిరా ఇక్కడ అపాచ ఉండదు అక్కడ
అర్థం కాదు.
ఫస్ట్ వి అంటే సార్ ఏ ఫస్ట్ వి ఈస్ టు బి ఉంది సార్
Which line?
లాస్ట్ సార్ లాస్ట్ లైన్
Yeah, the 14th line, right?
ఎస్ సార్
It is not an apostrophe. It is not equal to B.
ఏంది
Not equal to. Not equal to. Is that clear? So what are the relational operators? There are 6 relational operators. Yes or no? What are the 6 relational operators? In the comment I am writing. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to, double equal to. These are the 6 relational operators. Less than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to, and double equal to. They will compare, they will result either 0 or 1. Are we clear? So here I am accepting 2 numbers and I am comparing them, and each and every comparison is resulting true or false. Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear? So this is a demonstration for relational operators. This is a demonstration for relational operators. Now let me tell you one more program, then we will end this session. Today, most easy program only we'll discuss. Okay, swapping of 2 numbers. Okay, so whatever the programs which are discussed till now, which will not be given in the exam. Okay, because the examination standards will be big programs. Okay, so tomorrow we will list out what are the programs which will be given in the exam. Okay, so we will prepare some set of programs. Those programs you have to practice and you have to type and execute, then write in the exam. Okay, so in order to do those programs, these basics what we have discussed for 3 days are helpful. Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear? So whichever doubts you have to express so that we can clarify. Today we will share some material also with you. We will share the material of data types, operators, control structures, as well as input output statements. Please go through once, and from tomorrow we will discuss the programs which are given in the exam. Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear? Right. Now let me do one last program, okay, which is the easy program only. Program to swap 2 numbers. Program to swap 2 numbers. Program to swap 2 numbers. So what I will do is I will write int main, okay, and I will write 2 numbers. Okay, 2 numbers. So the same code is which is written here. Okay, the same code is written which is read there in the previous program. I will accept 2 numbers first. Okay, so I will create 2 variables, then I will ask them to enter 2 numbers and I will accept. Now what I want to do is I want to print those values. Okay, so how will you print the values? Printf a is equal to %d comma a. Similarly, printf b is equal to %d comma b. So what it will do, whatever the values you have accepted, that will be printed. Now if you observe here, I will accept 10 and 20. What will be done? A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20 will be printed. Now what is my program? I want to interchange the values. That 10 I want to store it in 20 and 20 I want to store it in 10. How will you do that? Now let's do this. Now this swapping of 2 numbers can be done in 3 ways. The first way, let me tell you. I will use a temporary variable. So swapping of two numbers using third variable. Using third variable. Okay. So how will you do using third variable? Very simple. So this is what before swap. This is what before swap. Printf before swapping. Before swapping, we have printed. Now, how to do swapping? I want to store a value in B and B value in A. So what I'll do is, I will take a third variable called as C, temporary variable. Okay. So the temporary variable, you can take it as temp or C, it's your wish. Temp. Okay. Now, what I will do, first I will store temp is equal to A. Then A is equal to B and B is equal to temp. Okay. After doing this swap, if you print it once again, then the swapped values will be printed. After doing swap, if you print it once again, the swapped values will be printed after swapping. Now let's save this program and execute. Now assume that I am entering 44 and 66. So initially what is A is 44 and B is 66. Okay. A is 44 and B is 66. But after swapping, A is 66 and B is 44. Now in this program, what you have done is, I have accepted two values first. Okay. Then I have printed before swapping. Then I have done the swapping operation. Then I have done printed the after swapping. Now this program, how to ఇక్కడ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అంటే స్వాపింగ్ ఆఫ్ టూ నెంబర్స్ నేర్చుకోవట్లేదండి. నౌ పే అటెన్షన్ ఇన్ దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ వాట్ ఆర్ యూ డూయింగ్. అందరూ స్వాపింగ్ అని నేర్చుకుంటుంటారు. నో నో నో. సో ఇన్ దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ డన్ ఈస్, ఇన్ ద ఫోర్త్ లైన్ ఐ హ్యావ్ క్రియేటెడ్ త్రీ వేరియబుల్స్, డేటా టైప్స్. ఫిఫ్త్ లైన్, సిక్స్త్ లైన్, సెవెంత్ లైన్ ఆర్ ద IO స్టేట్మెంట్స్. printf, scanf, how to display the text, how to accept two numbers. 8th line, 9th line and 10th line, what are you doing? In the 8th line, you are printing the text, and in the 9th and 10th line, you are printing the value of the variable with the text. There is a difference printfs I have used. And in the 12th line, 13th line, 14th line, what have you done? I am interchanging A and B values using assignment operator. Pay attention. Using assignment operator, I have interchanged. And in the 16th, 17th and 18th line, I have printed once again. So it is a very small program and very easy program. But here I don't want to prove mathematics here. I want to prove C language, where I am discussing data types, I am discussing input and output statements, and I am also discussing operators, expressions. Is that clear? That you have to learn. So don't concentrate on the mathematics of the program. Try to understand the C language of the program, so that many number of programs you practice, that much C language you can learn. Is that clear? Now the same program, you can do it one more way. What is the one more way? I don't want to swap using a third variable. I want to swap without the third variable. Without using third variable, I want to swap. Without using third variable. How will you do without using third variable? It is very simple. The same thing, first to 7 lines are same. Okay. And till 10th line is also same. Only swapping logic will differ, because I am not using the temp. So how will you do? Very simple. A is equal to A plus B. Okay. B is equal to A minus B. And A is equal to A minus B. I am not using the third variable, and I am also swapped. Now let me save this program. swap2.c. ఇక్కడ నేనేం మ్యాజిక్ చేయట్లేదండి. ఇక్కడ స్వాపింగ్ యూజింగ్ సమ్ లాజిక్ I have written. And ఇక్కడ mathematics also I am not teaching here. What I am teaching, I'll tell you. First, let me see the output of the program. So enter two numbers, 22 and 88. Okay. So first A is equal to 22, B is equal to 88. But after swapping, A is equal to 88 and B is equal to 22. So what is happening here? I am accepting two numbers, I am printing before swap, and I am swapping the logic, and after swapping, one more logic. But here I am doing the activity without using the third variable. So what I am trying to teach here is, first I have created the two variables, two data types, then input and output, printf and scanf, then printing the text and printing the variable values. Then here, what operators are used in this? Arithmetic operators. So this program can be given for arithmetic operator example. Is that clear? I don't want to show you swapping. With the help of swapping, I want to teach you arithmetic operators. Okay, and the answer is getting printed. Is that clear, everybody? So uh, if you execute this program, 77 and 33, initially it is a is equal to 77 and b is equal to 33, but after swapping, a is equal to 33 and b is equal to 70. So like this, you have n number of programs.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
So where are we getting return 6 in the output string, sir?
I didn't get you.
Sir, in the output string, we are getting return 6 now, sir. Why are we getting return 6?
What I am getting in the output window, let me show you once again. 33, 66. What I am getting? A is equal to 33, b is equal to 6. Where?
2.31 seconds.
Yeah, no, no.
And 6 now, sir.
No, 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 no. No, it is only thing is this output window will be closed after this many seconds. That is the operating system concept. That is not the part of C. Okay, up to dot 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 only C is the output. Okay, so ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే that ఇప్పుడు ఈ అవుట్పుట్ విండో విల్ బి క్లోజ్డ్ ఆఫ్టర్ సమ్ రిటర్న్ వాల్యూ 6 which is generated by the operating system code. That code is we are not printing, don't worry. So in your programming, that statement will not be printed. Okay, only this part of the code we are only printing. E part of the block we are printing. This part of the block is generated by the operating system, which is not at all respective to your program. In your system, that statement will not be printed. Another statement will get printed. Okay, don't worry about it. Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear, everybody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so please try to go through all the concepts of C, okay, and try to practice the program to understand the concept. Don't try to learn mathematics in the program, people. Don't try to do some rocket science in the program. Try to understand each and every line, what you are doing in each and every line, so that that can be related to some part of the C. If you learn like that, C will be very, very easy and interesting for you. If you concentrate on swapping of two numbers in this program, you are concentrating on the mathematics rather than C language. సో మనకు ఆల్రెడీ వచ్చిన మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ హెల్ప్ చేసుకొని సి లాంగ్వేజ్ నేర్చుకోవాలి. అంతేగాని ఒకసారి వన్స్ సి లాంగ్వేజ్ వచ్చాక అప్పుడు కొత్త మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ని సాల్వ్ చేయాలి. ఎనీవే ఆల్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ టేకింగ్ అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ విచ్ వీ ఆల్రెడీ నో. సో ఇక్కడ మనం మళ్ళీ కొత్తగా మ్యాథ్స్ టీచ్ చేయట్లేదు. యూజింగ్ ద నోన్ మ్యాథ్స్ ట్రై టు లెర్న్ సి లాంగ్వేజ్. సో ట్రై టు క్యాల్కులేట్ ఏరియా ఆఫ్ సర్కిల్, area of square, area of rectangle, area of cube, area of triangle, where using C how to do that. Okay, generate a multiplication table, check whether it is prime or not, generate all the even numbers up to 100, generate all the odd numbers up to 100, generate all the sum of the even numbers, sum of the odd numbers. Like that you have to create a problem and try to write using C program and try to solve. Akkada maths solve cheyakandi, C solve cheyandi. Is that clear? So thank you so much for today. Tomorrow we will list out the programs which are given in the C language exam, C language lab exam, and those programs I will type and execute and I will show. Those programs you practice and write it in the exam. Okay, and if at all you want to learn in detail C, it will take some good amount of time, and we will be available in the college anytime after the exams. You can learn a perfect C language. Okay, so but for this short time we would like to give you only introduction to C language as well as the list of programs which are discussed in the C language, and we want to conduct the exam. So that's why we are restricting our explanation to some piece of programs. Is that clear, people? So thank you so much. The people who have doubts, stay back. The people who don't have doubts, please enter your attendance and leave the session. Okay, so thank you so much, people. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Those who have doubts, stay back and ask doubts. Yes, please.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, people.
Sir, can we use functions in place of loops? Like for example, if I have two functions, function 1 and function 2. In function 1, I would call function 2. In function 2, I will call function 1. in both function 1 and function 2, I maintain two static variables, static x in function 1, static y in function 2. Then I would check a condition if the x double equals or x is until x is less than 5. I would continue this. Once x becomes greater than 6, I would return 0 and come out of that. So can
Yeah,
you do
yes,
that?
yes, you can do that. You are combining a lot of big concepts here. You are using functions, you are using static variables, and you are using recursive indirect recursion, because function 2 is calling function 1 and function 2 is calling function 1 is calling function 2. So in this concepts, you have to make sure functions, storage classes, and you have to make sure that that recursion should end up at some place by checking some condition. Of course you can do it. Please come with that program, message me that program, we will tell you how to do that program. Okay, so please briefly detail in detail, you text me the problem statement and the program, I will explain you, because this problem will confuse the remaining students, because the problem which you are doing, you are well aware of storage classes, functions, recursion. That's why you're trying to do a big complex problem. Please text me, I'll help you. Okay, yes, any other doubt?
Sir, can you please keep the notes in Google Classrooms?
Yeah, sure, today I will keep the notes in Google Classroom. That's why I have created. So please ask all the students to join, and by at the end of the class I will share some notes here. Yes, any other doubts? Yes.
Sir, when I use return 0 or return 5 in a block of code to matlab, functions return value is integer and I am saying return 8 or return 0, where does that return 0 or 8 go, sir? I mean, where does it actually return?
Very good, very good. Example, in the main, if you are writing return, that return goes to the operating system. Okay, if at all you are writing in some user defined functions, whoever calling that function, that will go to the example. When you are writing only main, straight away return will go to operating system, there is no doubt in that. But if example, if you are writing three functions, main, function 1 and function 2, if main is calling function 1 and function 1 is calling function 2, if the function 2 is returning, that value is returned to who is calling function 2, function 1. So whoever is calling you, to that place the return value will go. Example, I am calling you, if you return the value will return to me. Is that clear, everybody? So whichever function is called, who is calling that function, to that place the value will be returned. For example, Andy, we are going, we are calling carpenter function and we are passing the wood, and he will return the furniture. Okay, so మనం కాల్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి మనకు ఫర్నిచర్ will come back. So calling function will get the returned value from the called function. Are you clear, mister? Are we clear?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So please get back to me. We will be available in the college in the C lab. Okay, and tomorrow we will list out the list of programs which will come in the exam. Okay, so thank you so much, students. Please, good night.